On October 23, 2013, California State Assembly member from District 22, Kevin Mullin, and San Mateo County Supervisor Warren Slocum hosted the first annual Connect13 conference at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California. Strengthening communities through social media was the theme, bringing together social media experts and San Mateo County attendees from business, public, and government sectors to discuss the opportunities and challenges of using social media to communicate, collaborate, legislate, and participate. Peninsula Television is proud to bring you this conference, and all of the segments are available on YouTube and at www.pentv.tv/Connect13.
Hi, we're here with San Mateo County Supervisor Warren Slocum, one of the sponsors of this great event. Warren, tell our viewers what this wonderful event's about.
Well, Kevin Mullin and I are putting on this event along with Google and other high-tech companies, and its basic purpose is to bring people together to talk about social media and how we can use social media to engage people in the process of governance. And we've had this dream of doing this conference for years and years and years, and we finally this year, earlier in the year, put our heads together and said, let's actually do it, and here we are today.
What a great place to do it in, kind of one of the epicenters of technology in the world at YouTube headquarters. And you said it's taken you a long time to really realize this vision. How long?
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly how long, but years and years. And we just, it was just a matter of time and energy and commitment. And you're right, it is very cool to be here at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno. And what a great room, what a great venue, and it's going to be a great program.
Indeed. And I know you have been a technical evangelist for a long time and brought a lot of technology to your former job as the county assessor and recorder and clerk. And so this fits right into your wheelhouse to use technology for collaboration and moving things forward.
That's exactly right, and thank you for remembering all that. It's very kind of you. But one time in a newspaper years and years ago, I was called the county's highest-ranking geek official, which I was always very proud of. And so that's why it's especially wonderful to be here, at YouTube and be involved with Google and Facebook and Twitter. And it's just a dream come true.
All good, all good. Thanks for visiting with us, and I hope the conference is as good as we expect it to be, and I'm sure it will be.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Hi, I'm with Marshall Wilson, who's the Director of Marketing and Communications for the County of San Mateo at Connect13. Welcome, Marshall.
Mark, thanks for having me here. We're really excited about this event today. It's going to be a great lineup.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, with your job as the head of marketing and communications for the county, what could be higher on your wish list than doing something like this? It just looks like it's going to be an incredible way to move the bar up in both those areas. Yeah,
it's going to be really top. So one thing here in San Mateo County, our population is really among the most wired and wireless anywhere in the world. People are here they have their smartphones, their tablets everywhere you look. And I think as a county government, we've only begun just to barely scratch the surface of the potential there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We certainly have a lot of technology in our house, and I'm sure you are too. So what do you see about the longer-term opportunities for people to get more involved with government through some of these technology advances? And boy, are we in the epicenter of technology right here at YouTube.
Well, it's so hard for people to get to public meetings. We acknowledge that. Whether we have meetings at the daytime or in the evening, that's really the traditional route. People get involved in their local government, their local politics. But it's hard. People have kids, they have families, they have jobs, traffic is bad. There's a lot going on. So we want to be able to make it so people can participate in their local government where they are. Where are they? They're already on social media. So if they have a question about something, they can get on their tablet, their iPad, their smartphone, their computer, ask us a question, get us an answer. What we're also looking at doing in the county is also have people support each other. A lot of these tech companies, part of the support you get there is just the communities of people who like that technology. So we think there's an opportunity for us to develop a forum for people where, say, you have a question about how do I get my street cleaning done? How do I get a tree trimmed? Other people who know it from your neighborhood could go on and say, hey, you need to call this number or send an email there. So basically also opportunities for people to really get involved with their neighbors.
That is very cool. So we're all looking very forward to this conference. Thanks for spending some time with us.
We're glad Penn TV is here as well. Thanks you, Mark.
Thanks, Marshall. Hi, I'm with Roseanne Faust, who is the president and CEO of SAMCEDA, the San Mateo County Economic Development Association.
Great job.
I got it out.
Welcome. Thank you for, welcome to our Connect13. Samsita is a real proud sponsor.
What a great event here, and talk a little bit about, from your perspective, the importance of using technology. I know this is targeted more at the government sector, but in your line of work, collaboration throughout all parts of the county is so essential to get involved and collaborate and move things along together.
Absolutely. I think this was a great job by Assemblymember Mullin and Supervisor Slocum, because when you use technology, it's across our daily lives. It's with our children, it's in our business, it's in our volunteer work, it's in the government sector. So to be able to train folks that are elected officials and involved with nonprofits in social media, this is fabulous. What a great event.
No, there's no question about it. And I think sometimes, with both of us being parents of teenagers, we think of social media in often some ways that we might, cock our head out a little bit, but it's so provocative to see how social media can be so powerful in connecting people, and that's just what this conference is about.
Absolutely, and I want to thank Peninsula Television, because you were an early adopter of social media, and for us to be on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and all of that, and it is such a fabulous tool to get the message out. When I was at a recent event, some of my economic statistics were just tweeted out. What a fabulous thing to have happen, and people are following and paying attention. And so today we're going to learn nuts and bolts. We're going to hear from the experts. It'll be a very, very interesting day.
And right in the absolute pyramid of technology here at YouTube.
Who doesn't like YouTube?
Oh, absolutely nobody. It's just such a cool place, and they've been wonderful hosts. So have a great time, and thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you very much.
Please welcome the hosts of Connect13, California State Assembly Member Kevin Mullin and San Mateo County Supervisor Warren Slocum.
So good morning. How is everybody? Isn't it great to be here at YouTube? Yeah, let's give them a big hand. So I wanted to share with you just a couple of comments that people shared with me out in the lobby, because they're kind of funny. One person said, being here at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno really brings out my inner geek. And another person who remained nameless said, this is the best event I've ever been invited to. So thank you both for those comments. Kevin, nice to see you this morning. As I said, it's really wonderful to be here with Assemblymember Kevin Mullin at YouTube. and actually seeing the reality of our efforts during these many months to put on for you Connect13, strengthening communities through social media. I have to tell you that one of my proudest moments was the day many years ago that a reporter in a local newspaper called me the county's highest ranking geek elected official. And I think that's still true. Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
You could take that title.
But let me let me just confess to you that I fell in love with technology really early on. In fact, was on the internet probably in 1988 or so. I think it was 1988 because our son was born in 1988, and I kind of remember giving up the bedroom, which was my office, to Jonathan. So way back in 1988, you remember that the internet was nothing but, well, it was green screen technology. It was numbers and text. There was no interactive web technology or video or any of that stuff. But looking back, I just can remember thinking how cool that was. So for me, it's awesome to be living in this era of iPhones, Androids, apps, iTunes Store, social media, and that all the work that's being done by outstanding organizations like Code for America, who will be joining us later today. And really, all these efforts are for us, for Kevin and I, are aimed at trying to figure out how to harness the power of technology to engage citizens in the process of governance. As some of you know, I had the honor of serving as San Mateo County's Chief Elections Officer, and I have a deep belief in the democratic process and like nothing better than bringing new people into that process, especially young people and underrepresented people. So during my tenure, my staff and I initiated many projects, technology projects that attempted to reach out to people that were not part of the process through technology to engage them in actually getting registered to vote and then in voting. So as I mentioned, we in large part used some creative technologies to do that. Our efforts were recognized nationally as we used the internet to deliver enhanced voter information. And just want to share this with you. In 1989, way back in 1989, I authored an article that was published in a national magazine. And that article was called Voter Services in Cyberspace. And the title's kind of corny today, but the article basically laid out sort of my vision of how technology could be used in these arenas. And actually, in rereading that article recently for the conference, it's interesting to note that a lot of my dreams and wishes have actually come true. I talked about way back then having video on the web for voter services, and here we are at YouTube. Also talked about social media in that article, but it didn't call it social media back then. And you know, we move through time, and as you look at our history, that the web has really opened up in many ways our society, and in fact, the world. And all you have to do is think about the events in Egypt a while back to really realize the power of internet networks, social media, and engaging people in a process. Today really is a dream come true for me, and I know for Assemblymember Mullin, because for years and years and years, maybe 10 years, I'm not sure, he and I have kicked around the idea of holding a conference, of having an event where we would highlight technology and bring like-minded people together to talk about how to engage people in the process of governance through technology. And so finally this year, I think it was earlier in the year, we actually met up somewhere. We were talking, and we said, well, why don't we actually do that conference we've been talking about for 10 years? And we said, wouldn't it be cool to do it at YouTube? We could have 100 people or so come. We could talk about social media. And this time around, we didn't just talk about it, we actually did it. And so today, to see all of you here and be here is really, I'm not kidding, a dream come true. And I think for Kevin and I, we're both drawn to this idea of how to use this technology. And one of our purposes was obviously to share that excitement and this technology with you. As a member of the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors, having been on the job for some 9 months now, I can just tell you that I'm committed to expanding the circle of voices that we hear from in government. And I know Kevin shares that in the Assembly. And in fact, we try to practice what we preach. I know that Kevin wants to be a leader in the use of technology and is a leader in the use of technology and be a model for the rest of his colleagues in Sacramento. And for us in my office, we're trying to do the same thing at the local level. So all of us know that government can do better. And that's the beauty of this event for all of us here today. Silicon Valley, and specifically San Mateo County, should be shaping a new model for civic activism. We should be leaders in that area. We must explore ways to reach young people who have grown up in this digital age. And Kevin and I believe that social media is an important strategy in all of that. So today we've assembled some of the nation's leading thinkers in the area of technology, social media, and citizen engagement so that we can all learn more about how to use social media to better serve the people that we work for and hopefully, in the end, make government better for everybody. Kevin?
Thank you very much, Warren. And I must say, compared to this guy, I'm a Johnny-come-lately to this whole thing. Warren has been a visionary. Warren was talking about digital democracy before the term was cool, before social media was around. He has always sought ways to harness the power of technology to engage citizens in the democratic process and to have this conference come together and to have those many conversations come to fruition. It is a real honor to me, really, to be standing with Warren today, one of the early pioneers and civic entrepreneurs. And we're so very proud of his work in San Mateo County. So I think Warren captured why we are here today. I just want to also take you back in time, 20 years to be exact, when I was a aide, a field representative to then Assemblywoman Jackie Spear. The bulk of our work was done on the phone. There was no voicemail. We had one of those cassette answering machines. I'm sure you all remember those. We had green monochrome computer monitors connected to a network mainframe. We still had typewriters in the office that we actually used. We had just received our first color PC with a mouse, and staff was very leery of how to use the mouse. We didn't have email. Anybody remember those days? Yeah. Are you with me? I am really dating myself here, I know that. But there was probably more computing power and functionality in just my iPhone than that old mainframe system. But while technology has advanced and changed, the fundamental role of government has not. The duties and responsibilities of the office that I'm now fortunate to hold have not. I have an office. My staff still answers phones, albeit fewer calls because of the email. Technology has advanced, but the way government does business has not necessarily kept up. We have relatively good computers, but one thing that remains is the hesitance on the part of, shall we call it kindly, the bureaucracy of the state to adopt new technology. I love technology. I see it as a useful way to connect with others. When I took office last year representing Assembly District 22 here in San Mateo County, I encouraged my staff to use technology. Because I have an office in the state capitol as well as San Mateo here in the district, we thought that a good way for staff to get to know each other, build a working relationship with each other, and to stay connected was a weekly conference call. Then we thought Skype would be an even better way to communicate. For those not familiar, Skype allows you to video conference, and we're the only office in the state of California that has embraced that, if you could believe it or not. I asked Joe Fazio in my office, who's with us today and who's been critical in pulling this conference together. I asked Joe to look into it. What I thought was a fairly simple matter took 3 letters from me to the Chief Administrative Officer of the Assembly over many weeks of communications. We were given permission to use the software on one Assembly computer in each office and provided cameras for a one-time use at an open house I hosted in my district office. Then we had to return everything. Thankfully, the Skype software remained on our computers, and we privately purchased cameras so that we can continue to use the technology. We have weekly Skype staff meetings. We use it for constituent meetings. And just last week, I had the staff in Sacramento Skype into an education advisory committee that I put together for my district. We are just waiting to be told now that the software is going to be removed. So we are pushing the boundaries just a little bit, if you could believe that, in the California State Assembly. But the point is, it shouldn't be this difficult in government. We can do better. I know in San Mateo County, its cities, school districts, and special districts can do better when it comes to utilizing this technology. Our community has a proud tradition of collaborative, innovative government, ready, willing, and able to tackle challenges. We live and work in a place like no other. Here in San Mateo County, we're sitting in the middle of the innovation capital. San Mateo County is home to some of the largest software companies: Oracle, Electronic Arts, NetSuite, venture capital firms, digital entertainment companies, and social media companies. Our residents live and breathe technology. As you saw in the video, go into any cafe, any Caltrain station, any public space, and what do you see? As I pose the question, how are we in government harnessing the technology around us and putting it to use? Perhaps there is a better way to engage the community than our current model of those 2-minute public comments at a meeting, which solicits many of the same faces, many of the same messages. Technology has given us the tools to connect with our constituency in ways that we didn't dream about 20 years ago. Today, with a click of a button, my office can reach close to 50,000 people that live or work in my assembly district via email. If there's one community whose governments embrace and promote the use of technology, it has to be here in San Mateo County. We need to be on the proverbial leading edge, and we can do it together. I know there are opportunities for collaboration. Just last week, I was having a conversation around that Education Advisory Committee and the new Common Core standards, just talking about the broadband needs at schools, wireless infrastructure for cities and counties. We could put together really an exciting collaborative model involving all of those governments. It just takes that vision and then the political will to get it done. Today is about exploring how we can overcome some of the government challenges we face. Our presenters are local. They live or work in the area. This is but a small sample of the talent we have here in San Mateo County. Imagine if we harness some of that innovation and put it into government. So with that, I'll wrap, but I'll leave 3 questions hanging out there. The first one is, how can we increase civic engagement through technology and social media? How can we improve services and provide information and generally make life better through the use of technology and social media? And I added this one late, how do we modernize and strengthen our democracy using these tools? I'm looking forward to the rest of today and hope this leads to something greater. Thank you all for taking time to be here, and let's get started with our keynote presentation. Warren.
Thank you.